Start the meeting and okay, so I'll call to order the meeting of the Public Outreach Committee of the Water Management District. So we have a quorum and we have staff present, so we can start. And even though we don't have video, we'll be a little handicapped going forward. Anyway, I'll put it out to the public. If there are any public members at all who would like to comment before we start our business meeting, proceed, raise your hand, somehow get recognized.
And I'm just moving Dave Laredo over, by the way.
I already did.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hear any voices and I don't see any hands. So we'll bring it back to the committee. Action items. Item number 1 is adoption of the minutes of our June 26th meeting.
I have no corrections. I move adoption.
I second.
Okay, let's see, I'll ask the public again, and I'll ask him, since this is a committee meeting and there's not a lot of interaction with the public, but if any member of the public has anything they want to say on any comment, please raise your hand or try to make your presence known, and we'll call on you at any time, but I will not keep going out to remind you of this. You just have the right to be recognized, and I'll recognize you. Okay, so we'll call for a roll call vote because we're on Zoom.
Director Paul?
Yes.
Director Anderson? Yes. Chair Riley?
Aye.
The minutes are adopted 3-0.
Thank you. So we'll go to item number 2, which is a report from Wellman Ad. Phil, we can't see you. I can see your name, but that's all I can see.
I think, Stephanie, you've got my PowerPoint.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get that up.
Yeah, and Stephanie, if you were able to move Dave Laredo over, you may have host powers. You want to take a quick look to see if you can activate all our video?
I was looking, I don't see anything that would
You
allow
don't
me.
see anything? Okay.
Huh.
I was trying to do the same and I could not do anything with the video.
Yeah.
So it could be a setting in Christina's account.
And is somebody in Christina's account right now or no? No.
No.
Huh. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to look and see if I can find that.
Okay.
But all right, let's see if I can share screen. But I'm not seeing my. There it is. Okay. All right.
Promising.
Maybe. All right. Can you?
Ah, good job.
Terrific,
Wow.
Stephanie. Good work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
I get rolling here.
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Okay, back it up one.
Oh, my 2. Sorry.
Okay. Well, this is just we're just going to have a look at projects completed since our last public outreach meeting. So continue. Well, the big one was the Summer Splash ad campaign, Monterey County Weekly, Carmel Pinecone, and the Monterey Bay Parent Magazine. Next.
And we had a huge number of people that responded this year.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful.
We did.
Yeah.
Was it the first time you put the ad in the parent magazine?
No, we've done it in the past, but I think Phil's advertising expertise must have had something to do with it. But it was more than double the participation this year.
Oh, terrific.
I'll
Yeah.
give you the exact numbers in a moment. Next.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
So, and then we sent out, I think the newsletter was enormously valuable. We sent out the newsletter twice. 22,000 deliveries, 8,600 opens both times. So next. And,
That's interesting.
yeah, and then I put together the 14-page website. Did everybody get a chance to actually look at what we were doing there?
I didn't see it.
Okay. All right. Well, it operated well, except for a couple of hiccups. It operated pretty flawlessly. And as you can see right there, the campaign results were they did 200 in 2022 did 198 entries, and this year we did 469.
What does that mean, entries?
People that actually entered the contest.
Oh, the contest, okay.
Yeah.
So what they had to do is go to the website, watch videos, answer questions,
Mhm.
and then once they had completed the game, they were entered into a drawing.
Mhm.
And Phil, I don't know if you have, we didn't say that, but we basically raffled off to the people who or drew names for the people who completed the game. They had an option. They won a high efficiency clothes washer was the number one.
Wow.
Valued $1,200.
Yeah, and then an iPad, and then two, I think it was $50 Visa cards.
4 $50 Visa cards.
Yeah.
Great.
So 6 total prizes?
All right.
So we had some happy people out there.
Can I go back to that just one moment?
Sure.
The number in 2022 did the prizes make a difference between the 2 years?
No, they were pretty much this. They have been pretty much the same since we started doing this.
I think the difference, I mean, from my perspective, was probably just, more eyeballs on it this time.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Thanks for that.
Of course, the design did not hurt.
That's nice. I thought you were giving away a car for a minute there.
Oh, yeah. So this is the ad that we ran for Car Week.
Well, this is one of 2 that we ran.
That's correct. The first ad we ran, the headline got a little bit of flack, so we made some adjustment.
The first one said, "Put the pedal to the metal."
Well, everybody did that, didn't they? All the
They did.
vroomers.
Right. And unfortunately, we did have a member of the public who contacted me about that, suggesting that it looked like we were supporting the kind of the
Yeah.
racing ground. So
Yeah.
Right. Terrible, huh? Anyhow, and then this was the social media boost. We got 93 likes on it. And I just wanted to note here is that we have, in the last 60 days, we've gone from 48 followers on our Facebook site to 74.
yay.
To 26. So we're making actually, and one difference is the fact is that we've been out of the last few Facebook ads that we've posted, we have boosted, I think, 4 of them now, which gives us much more exposure outside of the people that are already following us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's helped enormously to sort of push the numbers up. So as ads come up that I think are particularly appropriate to a larger number of people, we're going to boost them. We're going to continue that at least 2 or 3 times a month.
Phil, I'm not on
Facebook?
the Facebook and the boosting side of it, but can a participant in Facebook actually forward this to their friends? I mean, is that the boosting process where you?
They can share it.
Okay, yeah. Can they share it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that. Okay.
Now the boosting process basically starts with Facebook itself. For instance, we paid $100 and it boosted to, oh gosh, I can't recall exactly what the number was, but we reached somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 people that we would not have reached otherwise. So it's definitely an effective way to more rapidly expose yourself to a greater number of folks out there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yep. Next. And this is the ad that just ran this last week in our newsletter, the ban on non-functional turf.
Yeah, and the timing on that was the day before the Herald had an article on the state considering a permanent ban. So very timely.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I had written in 8,600 opens because that was the opens we got on the last one before this, but I just got the metrics back today and it was 2,000 greater than that. It was 10,600. So there was definitely some interest. That's one of the largest responses we've gotten.
Good.
Next. So just to bring you up to date on the website, I guess I met with the staff, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, to get their feedback on, or just essentially just sort of give them an idea of what it was that we were doing and get some feedback from them. And I worked with both Dave and Stephanie to integrate the feedback that we got back. We reviewed, we picked up through Google, we picked up some behavior analytics for the last 4 months, which gave us an indication as to which area on the website were the most popular. So we definitely wanted to take that into consideration when we were sort of rejuggling the menus. And we made a considerable number of adjustments in light of that and for other reasons to the site map. In other words, the menus and drop downs, you know, the menu where the titles run across the top and, you know, well, I think
Yes.
I understand what I'm talking about there. Anyhow, a site map is called, that's the collection. Essentially, that's the map of how a website is actually organized. So we made some adjustments to that to make it easier for folks to get to the stuff that they use more often. So next step is basically to initiate the design phase, and which I'm involved in that right now. So that's it. Any questions?
I just want to add that kind of at the same time, Josh Stratton at Cal-Am has done a very good job of putting together this Los Padres Dam and Reservoir Alternative workshop.
Yeah.
And it did appear in the Pine Cone and the Weekly over the weekend as a joint branded advertisement that was done at the initiative of Cal-Am. So there's a tomorrow night an in-person workshop at the community center up in Carmel Valley Village, or is it, Steph, is the proper term, the youth center?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's an electronic webinar, if you will. I believe it's September 11th. So, so they've done a good job of getting that word out. We just don't know what the audience will look like.
And what are they going to be talking about? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, the Los Padres. So, you know, we had a 4.5 year long, thorough consultant effort to identify, and they identified 4 alternatives, 2 of which actually continue to have a life. And so this will be an opportunity to discuss what those are, you know, what was looked at and discounted, what remains on the table, and where we might be headed. You know, but there is no clear path forward right now. But I think to the extent people have an interest, it'll be a decent workshop, at least from the standpoint of being able to get closure on the whole effort. You know, National Marine Fisheries Service and California Fish and Wildlife will participate along with the engineers who worked on it. So
I would think the fish people would have maybe a lot to say.
Yeah. They did all the way through it. I mean, this thing, part of the reason it took so long is the technical review committee became a little more aggressive in their participation, and then asked for a lot of things that that got looked at. So
will you be participating in any way, Dave?
I will be there and available. So if a question comes up, I think Chris Cook is the same, but Thomas will be at the table at the dais. Probably Amon Gonzalez will be there for Cal-Am at the dais, maybe Josh Stratton. I know probably will be there since he's organizing the whole thing.
And I might add, there's been a lot of notice on Facebook and on social media also, so I would expect a fairly decent crowd.
Which building is it gonna be at?
It's the Carmel Valley Community Youth Center. So it's off Ford Road in Carmel Valley.
Community Youth Center, okay.
Yeah, so it's by the biggest park, you know, where they had the fiesta a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the park.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
park.
And there is a youth center there somewhere. Is that near the pool?
Actually, kind of the opposite side from the pool. So if you were to turn on Ford Road off of Carmel Valley Road, it's
Yeah.
the first building that you'll see. Has some big barbecue pits next to it.
Oh, that is right next to the pool. Off Ford Road there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. I see which side you're on. Thank you.
When is the live event, Dave?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, it's tomorrow night. Okay.
Pictures?
Yeah, there's a PowerPoint. John Stead of AECom will kind of moderate. I'm assuming he's going to moderate. The consultant that you paid the most dollars to gets to moderate.
I see.
Okay, so that's enough on that part, but that's only part website, right? And that was a carryover.
Correct.
Okay, so any more comments on that one? Questions? Okay, let's go to the next topic there, buyout hearing.
Yep. We are in progress. The board will meet in closed session September 7th to discuss pros and cons of pursuing a condemnation action. Also, we'll discuss a couple of legal pros and cons that the attorneys will be prepared to guide you in. And then should the board decide to set forward with a hearing of necessity, it will be either October 4th or October 12th. We're trying to lock up the venue. Christina's sudden COVID kind of throws that up in the air. So when I think today and tomorrow will probably be her worst days, and then she'll start recovering. But we're trying to nail that down so that we know what it's going to be. There won't be any notification until after you have your closed session as a board. So earliest public notice would be September 8th. Same thing with any formal notice to American Water and Cal-Am. So it all spins off your discussion and decision in that closed session at 11 o'clock on September 7th. And we'll get a meeting reminder out. You will get a packet of materials for that meeting probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll work with Sarah on getting our messenger service to get you physical copies. And that's where we stand. And so once that decision is made, if you do decide as a full board to have a hearing, then it will get noticed on our email blast newsletter.
Oh, we're back. Dave's here at least.
Hey,
Hey, how'd you do that?
I
Yeah.
just clicked on video and yeah, it's called self-help, Dave.
Yeah, well, I could use a lot of that.
Good job.
Mine's
Well, we clicked on it earlier and it didn't work, so we
Yeah, I
stopped
know that.
clicking on it.
I think Sarah probably found the secret
mine.
button.
I've been messing with it behind the scenes.
oh, thank you.
Mine's
Thanks,
not
Sarah.
showing yet. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you are.
I've got the hot springs behind me, I guess.
So before leaving the Wellman report, the public hearing schedule that you're looking at in September, will there be a role for Wellman Ed to being a big part of that?
Yeah, and so if you decide to have a hearing of necessity, then he will do probably 2 email blasts in advance of it. And then, I don't know, we haven't decided, but since this is a public outreach committee, would you like to see notices posted for the special meeting, the hearing of necessity, should the board elect to have one?
I kind of think a simple notice would be good. You don't have to
Yeah.
do a rah, rah, cheers and so on, just a notice. Of
Yeah,
the
it'd be
time and location and so on, and what the subject is.
exactly. Yeah, it'd be
What are
similar
you
to,
talking- a notice you're talking about, an ad, in other words?
yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
like a 1/4-page ad in the weekly in the Pine Cone, similar to what you would have seen for the Los Padres.
Well,
Yeah.
it just so happens in the month of September that Monterey County Weekly owes us a free ad in addition to the ad that we run. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Use it or lose it.
Well, I think the
But-
public has been waiting a long time to see where and when and how this
Yeah.
thing might move forward, and this is the biggest step we can take. I think it's one of the biggest, at least.
I guess my only concern with running a 1/4-page ad would be sort of the perception. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good question.
we have never run a quarter in the entire time I've been working with the water district. We haven't run a 1/4-page ad. It's always been halves or larger. So
Well, that's because those are branding messages. This one's just a
Notification.
notification. It would augment the newsletter anyway, the electronic newsletter where you put out the hearing details, but it's kind of hard to fill a 1/2 page with
I can
5:30 to 7 at such
I
and
can
such
do
a
that,
hall.
Dave. I can do that.
Oh, sure you could.
I'm a
Bigger
fan
font.
of large type.
Bigger font, yeah.
Well,
Right.
anyhow,
But I do think I'm hearing direction from this committee that we should augment the email blast with a public notice.
Well, let's hear a little more from Karen and Amy.
Well,
Go
I
ahead,
agree,
Karen.
and I just haven't said anything because I basically defer to Phil and Dave and others about what's the best way to get the word out, but I agree that, we should make sure that the word is out.
I agree. Public should know that the public who are frustrated and wondering if we're gonna do anything, we should let them know that we're doing this.
well, we could use that ad to update people on the buyout. So it wouldn't be just a notice for the event. That we could actually use it to outline what we've done, where we are now, where we're headed. So that it provides some context for the community. So it actually is a branding ad, because this whole thing has been so important to the community anyhow. My only concern is, when you do a small event or a small ad, it doesn't give you an opportunity to really describe what the heck you're even doing.
Yeah. I think all of our seminars and workshops have been 1/4-page ads. So,
I just want to make sure that we don't get ahead of the board. The board has a discretion to exercise. And when we promise about what's going to happen in the future, it does depend upon the board providing that direction.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
So what you're looking at here is the Los Padres Dam alternatives ad,
mm-hmm.
1/4-page.
yeah. Well, in response to what Dave Laredo just said, we could address this at the board meeting if, if the board decides to move ahead and have the hearing, then we can maybe see if there's anything we want to discuss regarding outreach.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
You mean
Yes,
don't do
what I'm
it
asking is that-
before the meeting of the the special meeting? Don't do it before the special meeting.
Yeah, clearly. Well, I would advise against it because you don't know.
Right.
What I'm
No,
asking
but-
is, could the text of the ad be run past legal?
Sure.
Good idea.
I
Sure.
thought you wanted to announce the special meeting.
No, well,
No?
yeah, but the second special meeting. So the special meeting
Oh,
we
yeah.
have, the 7th, is for the board to weigh the pros and cons and make a decision whether you want to move forward.
Mhm.
And if you do, then that will be at a special meeting, either October 4th or October 12th. That we will have an answer to which one of those, hopefully midweek this week.
Well, and going back to Phil's comment about a little bit of context, I think we can say, Measure J passed X, the feasibility study completed Y, the offer was made in Z, and the next step is this coming up, or some context to
Yeah.
by this.
I actually, I think a quarter page would be just fine.
Well, we'll have a chance to chat about it.
Okay. All right, yeah, it's a big deal coming up and there's still more to be discussed and the full board needs to be involved here, so you know how we're leaning anyway. Okay, Phil, you got anything more to present or discuss?
I think that's it for now.
Well, seems just keep doing what you're doing. It looks great to me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
look good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
All right, everyone.
So let's see if there are any items to be placed on a future agenda. I think we've kind of talked about a future action items, but not for this committee. I think it's probably going to be determined about what we get as a reaction to the next big public, discussion we have.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I will say, Phil, I'll be looking forward to some changes in the website. I was looking through it today and I was trying to track a few things, just see if I could find things. And I'm a little bit seeing some inconsistency, I think, in the follow-up to our board meetings. Sometimes presentations are made and materials are presented. And I remember Joelle always said, these materials in their minutes, at least, this material is on our website, blah, blah, and so on. So, well, I started looking for some of those, and I don't think the website's been consistent. And they're quick to say you can watch the meeting, but it's not easy to say you can see this additional piece of information that was presented. You just can't go to the visual very quickly. And anyway, I've just found some inconsistency there, and I just
Okay.
anyway, but that's maybe for you, but maybe it's for Dave as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll try to
Sure.
point them out when I don't see something.
Yes, please.
All right.
Yeah, because typically if it's a PowerPoint that was presented at the meeting, those are all placed on the same page as the packet from the meeting, and then ultimately the minutes from the meeting, and a link to the video. So we'll have to look at that a little more carefully. Shouldn't be
Well,
anything.
I can't remember what I was looking for, but anyway, I just didn't drift through that as efficiently as I thought I might.
Yeah.
And that was
Well, and there are a couple of things where we may say, oh, the study is available on our website, like the Los Padres Dam
Mhm.
alternatives.
Mhm.
It takes some looking because you got to go to water supply, and then you got to go to Los Padres Dam, and then you pop it open, and so you have to kind of know what you're looking for. Same thing with some of the Measure J items. Actually, after our meeting last week, we kind of redesigned the Measure J page because it's a little confusing. You can find notices that are noticing meetings that are no longer relevant, but you can't easily go to the feasibility study. And so there, I could imagine, depending on what you're looking for, that there's some convoluted path to some of these things. And then we have a great page that lists like 18 things we would like to have linked to that page, but only about 4 of them are live. So
Wow.
like, here's an idea of things we'd like to share with you, but you can't actually see them. We're not sharing them with you. Yeah. So a lot of that's going to be changed.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, well, I don't know of any burning questions on my mind. Karen or Amy, do you have anything you want to add to maybe a future agenda? And if not, this could be a nice, short, but convoluted meeting itself.
Well, I guess it goes without, as far as future meetings, it goes without saying, I guess, that we'll evaluate, we probably continue to evaluate every meeting, the recent efforts, what seems to have worked well, whatever we can learn from it. But Phil does that in every presentation. So that's why I say it kind of goes without saying.
Karen, how deep is your disappointment you didn't get put on a jury?
Oh, it was really interesting. There was a ton of people, and then a judge came out and said, well, the case has settled. So I have to go back in and do some things, but I will, come out in about 15 minutes and you will all be released, and you'll be basically you've done your service for 2 years. So, but it took another hour plus. She disappeared back inside, and it was more than another hour before they actually let us go. So I'm guessing that actually making sure that the settlement was everybody was on the same page and that sort of thing took longer. But it was, what was good is just all these people showing up to be willing to serve on a jury. Mostly working age people, probably most of them have jobs, and many have kids, and they show up to serve on a jury, and it's a good, I know in some countries people say, well, how do you get people to show up for that? And
Have to.
Well, they have to, but I mean, what are they going to put you in jail if you don't show up for jury duty? I think most people do it because they know it matters. And it was nice that the judge came out and expressed that to all the people.
That's what happened the last time I went, the same thing. But when I was on a jury a number of years ago, it was not a good experience because people were angry. They just wanted to get it over with. They didn't care about their decision, and it was really shocking to me and disappointing. They just said, why should we give that person any money? They were in an accident. Why? I'm not getting any money. And I just was, it was a bummer. It was a bummer.
Should we adjourn?
I know the jury duty is not on our agenda.
We could adjourn. Yeah.
Well, I just want to make one caution about the next meeting. I think we should pay particular attention to how we're viewing and how we see the reaction to the step forward in September, because the interest in what we're doing is probably going to pick up, and the quality of what we say to the public and how much we say to the public and when and how will be our committee's work. I think Phil and Dave and so on. So I think the attention that will be addressed to the district will increase, and therefore our messaging needs, just some careful attention to what we're saying.
Yeah.
Great point.
Okay, that's my wrap up.
All right.
Nothing more. Meeting adjourned. Thank
No
everybody.
hands raised.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Especially Sarah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye.